So, have you ever gotten the feeling that nothing really works right? Sometimes I have that feeling. But then I make something, and there's a little structure to my universe. But not everything always goes to plan. Nothing always turns out exactly how you're supposed to expect it to turn out. Like, you can look at somebody else's designs and say, that'll work just fine. And then realize, once you're done with it, it doesn't really work. But then, there's the fun in figuring out exactly how to make it work. Now, this first video was supposed to be done with a tripod, camera thingy that was going to print off a Thingiverse. It didn't work out. See, I got all of this. I even got the spongy thing to hold the camera. Well, instructions said I could print off the plastic bolts and up my infill to 100%, make them super strong. Look at this. Every last head snapped off of them. You lied. I'm surprised I got this far. So, yeah, this thing didn't work. But that's just half the fun I have. And then I get successes. Like, I built a Warlord class Titan for 40K. Took me 8 weeks to print the whole thing up. 24 hours a day I was printing on that Titan. And I had a lot of fun putting it together. But the big joy came when I took it to my local game store and displayed it for the first time. Man, everybody loved it. We had a large game that we like to do once or twice a year. This year was our first annual big table game. Each one of us fielded 10,000 points in 40K. I brought 2 knights, 6 for me as Chaos player, War Dogs, and the Warlord Titan, and 2 squads of Terminators, and 3 Sorcerers. That constituted all 10,000 points of my army. Next one is supposed to be 20,000 points. Yeah, I really got to add some stuff in my army for that one. But seeing everybody that just had to come up and say, man, that is awesome. That looks so cool. Did you buy that? Did you print that? And to see the look on their face when they figured out that's printed. Damn, you did a really good job on that, man. I couldn't tell unless I got up really close and looked that was printed. And I'm like, dude, thanks, man. It's a lot of work. Had a lot of fun building it. But that whole time was a learning experience. I stumbled all the way through that thing. First off, it was just the STL files. There wasn't even a picture on what might have gone where. There was definitely no instructions other than it saying it needs 10 of this piece, 5 of this piece. Where it all went together, not a clue. I had to figure that out. And then I got to thinking, what if there was somebody who was out there who was putting these things together and left some video documentation about his course along the way? So after a little bit of thinking, I decided to try it out on Facebook. And if you still want to look, you can go to 3D Printing the Miniature Universe. It's a group on Facebook. And you can watch all the videos as I go through the ins and outs of discussing printing that big old Titan and all the problems I had in trying to print that big old Titan and the successes, and then some videos on its final reveal at the game store. You should check it out. There's like hundreds of miniatures on the table. I think we had a 16 by 8 foot table playing on. There was 80,000 points. That was a lot of fun. That was definitely epic. But, you know, if there was just somebody that said, well, hey, you know, when you start this part of the print, you want to take close attention and notice that, you know, you're going to come up with thin walls because of your overhangs. Or, you know, if you change your temperature to this, or your printing speed to this, you're going to come up with a lot better, you know, print. Or, like, I didn't notice till I actually got halfway through, like, the first 20 hours, that, you know, they discuss about printing these models. They talk about, you know, this is the different machines that you can use for it, and little tips and tricks on how to tweak your settings, but they never really tell you, hey, if you print along the Z-axis line, your walls are going to come out a lot better. And if you want really good detail, you want to orient your model so that the majority of the model's details are along that Z-axis, so you get a lot better detail. They also don't tell you that if you increase your top layer, you know, or decrease, you're talking about different scale of detail. We're also talking about delamination problems. That took me a while to solve too. But it's all in there. So I decided to start a YouTube channel where I build different stuff. And I talk about my ins and outs of building it. And maybe somewhere along the line, you know, maybe I inspire you to build something. Maybe you get an idea and say, hey, well, I'm glad he stumbled through that. That'll take some of the problem out of it for me. So, I encourage you, if there's anything I've gone through that you can learn from, definitely expound upon it. You want to drop me a line and talk to me. Ask me, hey, what you printing today? Drop me a comment. If you want to just shoot the breeze, say, hey, what's cool to print today? What craziness are you working on? Drop me a line. Because I'm going to be doing some interesting projects in the future. I have one client who wants me to print out B1 battle droids. He wants a squad of them, full-sized, for his Halloween display. So that project is going to take several years to finish. And we're going to chronicle it here on Printing the 3D Universe, or 3D Printing the Miniature Universe. I kind of really like that one better. And to go along with that, I'm going to be making some personal changes in my life. It's going to require me to be a lot smaller, because old Papa Chester's got to replace his knees. So as a reward for all my hard work, losing all the weight that I can so I can have these lengthy surgeries, I'm going to print myself up a suit of Stormtrooper armor. Preferably ARC Trooper. I've always wanted Stormtrooper. So that's going to be my project and my reward to me. Gives me a goal to shoot for. Everybody needs goals in their life. So, like, if you like making stuff like this guy here, he's Wolfie. Say hi, Wolfie. Hello, I am Wolfie. Or you want to know how to get the perfect settings to print this cute little guy up? Definitely stay tuned. So I'm going to be doing a lot of stuff. I'm going to be having a lot of fun.